Oh my gosh, did you see that? It's removing the dead bugs really well. As you can see, it is really gross. I wanted to give you a couple of options. What's lurking underneath your stove hood? If it looks like mine, then I'm going to show you how you can clean this easily without using anything that is harmful to your health. Let me show you how to clean it with some ivory and jute. My friend at Fairyland Cottage makes these beautiful little scrubbies that look a lot better than mine. I've realized I'm not a weaver. I can't believe how well these clean. Or honestly, you could wrap up a bunch of twine into a ball and it would still work at cleaning really, really well. First things first, put a couple squirts of ivory into a bucket and fill it up with hot water. You're gonna need hot water in order to combat the grease. I would recommend using ivory because I have found it to be very safe on surfaces, and also it doesn't wrinkle and crinkle my hands the way some of the other dishwashing liquids do. The first thing you want to do is remove this cover. They break easily. If you have an older one, it might be quite brittle. You squeeze them very gently and the little knobby things will come out. As you can see, it is really gross. The light bulb is really gross too. I'm just going to take it off. I guarantee you that if you get your wet cloth close to that, you do get zapped. I've done it. Now this is your grease trap, and they also come off. Now oftentimes these little things are broken. It happens all the time. Mine is still intact, and I'm just gonna kind of pull it downwards and it's gonna release it. Now this is really yucky, and I'm going to put this in the sink with some hot water and ivory and let it sit. You want really hot water to wash this, so let your water run for a bit, and if you have sensitive hands, use some gloves so that you don't burn yourself. And just squirt a bunch of ivory in there and let this puppy soak for a while. So here we go. I've got a bit. I think I've got enough. I've just sort of wound it up. There's no magic, you know, it's not perfect. I'm just gonna dip it into my bucket of hot water. Now I've got my little ball of jute and I've got some ivory. I'm going to put ivory directly onto the jute. I'm just gonna squirt quite a bit on there. There's no magic amount, just squirt away. It's removing the dead bugs really well. Wow, a lot of times you don't think of it to look up like into these areas or to take off the greasy fan cover. I'm leaking all over things right now, but that's okay. If you want to learn how to clean a stovetop like a pro, I've got a video on that. Now, if you don't have any jute and you've got a magic eraser type eraser, it doesn't have to be any special brand. You can get these at the dollar store too and get an inexpensive one. It'll work just the same. Dip it into your bucket of water, take your ivory, squirt some on there, and that's going to give you some great scrubbing power too. And in some cases, this might work on some of the stains that perhaps the jute won't work on. Now, magic erasers, from what I understand, are made out of recycled plastic. So I think that they're not terribly environmentally unfriendly. I wanted to give you a couple of options because I know some people are really concerned about using products that aren't entirely natural. That gives you an option. So you know what? This is all coming off fairly easy. Both methods, awesome. And I think the jute will work wonderfully for cleaning this as well. So I'm going to take my jute little ball, put some soap on it, and then I'm just going to, oh my gosh, did you see that? Check this out. We've got some pretty nasty grease on this thing. Taking the jute, and look at this. It's just gone. It's awesome. If you give it this a go on here, make sure you turn it over too and get the other side. You might want to hold your hand at the back of it so that you can support it without it putting too much tension on these edges, because you don't want it to fall apart. And you will want to rinse this really well. And it's really looking a lot better. And the water isn't, it doesn't lie. It's looking pretty dirty and greasy. This is how much dirty, yucky water came from that greasy screen. So I'm just going to finish cleaning up the hood, and I'm going to also clean up this bulb. Got nasty bugs on there and everything else. Just gonna take the jute and just give it a rub onto the light bulb. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself by smashing it into your hand, so be very cautious. I'm just going to take a cloth and just dip it in here, just the edge of the cloth, so that I can give it a quick little wipe. Look at that, good as new. Electrical and water, no, not good. You're gonna wanna leave this out for a really long time. Make sure it's good and dry. Just don't stick it back in there and electrocute yourself. That's just not cool. The dead bugs are gone. As for this little cover thing, I've never seen one yet that could put up with very much hard scrubbing. You really do have to be careful. So support the plastic the best you can in all areas. You might want to put a little extra ivory on here, but this is coming off really easily. You know, the ivory really is a good grease cutter. The reason being is because it's made for dishes, which get greasy. Now look at that nastiness. And I want to show you how easy this is. Look at that. It's coming off so easy. Be especially careful of these little thingies. These little knobby things, they break so easily. So if you can't get them spotless, leave them alone. I have broken a lot of them in my house cleaning career. Not because I am haphazard, it's just the poor construction. They just really are poorly constructed. Now you want to give your top part a little wipe too. So these little lines and grooves, they hold the grease like terribly. So give it a go with your jute. Be careful that you don't get a lot of moisture in there, but you know, things aren't as delicate as people think. It's just like danglies everywhere. That's okay, because we're gonna clean from the top down. Now I'm just gonna rinse sort of with a cloth that is dipped in the ivory. I'm gonna go around everything and underneath the hood as well. Give a wipe to get rid of all of the soap suds and anything that is left over. Be careful on this little ledge or the lip of your stove hood, because that can be sharp sometimes. Just take a nice dry cloth and give it a nice shine when you're all finished. It's a lot cleaner, and if you have an old one like mine, it's not maybe going to come perfect, but it's certainly a lot better. So now let me show you how to replace this light cover without breaking it. You're gonna have to be really gentle. Now I'm not putting the light bulb back in yet because it's not quite dry. You would usually wait until you put your light bulb back in first, and you're just gonna very gently squeeze this. If you squeeze it too hard, you're gonna crack it. So just gently do it, and you can get one side in first, and then just gently squeeze to get the other one in. And then voila, that is back in place. And now I'm going to put the fan cover back on. Make sure that you've got the little tab, if you have a tab, on the outside, because you don't want that to be stuck on the inside, so that you can get it out the next time. And it goes towards the front. So you're just gonna slide it into the little grooves, and it just pops right in there. So check out the shine on this. It looks fabulous. So thank you so much for watching. Who knew that just something so simple could be so remarkable in cleaning? Give it a try. If you enjoyed the video, if it's been helpful, give me a thumbs up. Let me know how the jute works for you with the ivory in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.